All right, any second here, and we'll go. Hey, everybody, welcome to GFBS. It's a dirty Thursday. Got the Blacklance boys on today. Aaron and Terry Blacklance. Well, we're going to have one of them on. Aaron is having trouble with his computer, so when we talk to Aaron, it's going to be just a big chunk of black. Terry is standing by. We'll have him on the air, too. By the way, your show brought to you by Northwest Tire in Grand Forks, who just happens to be looking to hire a tire technician. Now, if you're not afraid to show up for work on time, if you're not afraid to work hard while you're punched in, well, you know what? This job might be perfect for you. No prior work experience is necessary. Northwest Tire will train the right people, too. You know what? You get great benefits like PTO, health insurance, 401k, and more. Pay will depend on experience, but stop into Northwest Tire on Gateway Drive if you want to find out more about this. You can call Chad if you can't stop in, 701-780-8473. Or you can also apply online at nwtire.com. Well, if you have any questions or comments for Aaron or Terry Blacklance, our phone number is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. And before we get started, time now for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. This is the first year we've had to cancel our winter vacation because of COVID. Never had to do it before. Otherwise, every year we just had to cancel because of lack of money. All right, let's get going here. First off, I'm going to go to Terry Blacklance because he happens to have a camera on him. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good. You and I had been messaging back and forth during the Midwest Shootout or the Wild West Shootout, and you were telling me about the facility and all that kind of stuff, but how cool is it to be the dad of the winner of the Wild West Shootout?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's something that you see happening every year for the past 16 years. Somebody's been crowned, and never think it's... our intentions when we went down were just to go down and get out of the cold weather and have some fun and get an early start on racing. And lo and behold, never did we ever think that. I didn't think anyway. And I'm a pretty good driver, but I never thought that we'd have a chance at that championship thing. And about halfway through it, it looked pretty good. So yeah, we're happy with the result for sure.
Now, as far as you being a dad of a race car driver, how proud are you? Is this probably your shining moment as far as watching Aaron as he progresses through his racing career?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I am super proud. Without a doubt of both my kids actually, but in regards to Aaron's racing, he's got more talent in his pinky than I ever had. And, you just hope first off they're safe and that they have fun, but you hope they have a little bit of a success. But I've tried to provide. I'm not a money man. I don't have a lot of money, so I just try to provide every opportunity that we can to keep them going. And if that's giving him some shop space or some suggestions, that's what I try to do. So, but I'm pretty proud. He's definitely got some talent and ability, and I think there's still more to come, actually.
All right. Aaron, are you there, man?
I'm here.
How you doing?
Well, aside from the minor technical difficulties here, I'm upright, so I'm doing just fine.
All right. One of the first things I want to do, and I want to congratulate you on a couple of things. First off, though, the most important thing, you're married now. Is that right?
I am. Yep.
And, there we go. We got some pictures. When did you get married?
It was October 23rd. Of course, it had to be once racing was officially done.
I was just going to say that.
Up in our neck of the woods. So October 23rd, it's been a great 3 months so far.
Well, good. Now, of course, we got your dad, Terry, on the other computer here, but It all comes down to we're talking to a guy about his kid, and now the next question is, what about the next wave of Blacklances? Any thoughts on that yet?
Yeah, of course. I want to be a father quite bad. As soon as I do have a child, I plan to put him or her in anything that has a motor, anything that can move as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Are you working on that yet, or just practice makes perfect, right?
We'll keep that between me and my wife.
All right. Congratulations next on the Wild West Shootout down in New Mexico. Was this your first shootout?
This was, yep. I think as my dad mentioned, we've rented the race and watched some pay-per-view stuff the last several years, and kind of as it's gained some popularity, handful of Wasota cars, or at least guys that we're familiar with, have gone down. And it just so happened to work out. We had a running mate this year that I grew close with, that went to a lot of races with me locally, and he kind of brought it up as an opportunity. And I thought, this is probably the year, if any, that it's going to work out best for me. Obviously starting a family and just getting married. So I had the green light from my better half, and we decided to make a trip out of it.
How important is it for you? Because your wife knew what she was getting into when she met you, I would imagine. How important is it to have the backing of the boss of the house?
Oh, it's huge. It's one of those things where, yeah, like you said, she knew what she was getting into, but there's still times where, the money demand and the time that race cars demand, especially running multiple race cars, 3 to 4 nights a week, it definitely wears on the family, and having my wife's support has been everything for me.
I'm looking at the picture right now, and you guys in Victory Lane. I see Terry's wearing gloves. I see a lot of jackets, and I see a stocking hat. Terry, was it cold on that last night down there in New Mexico?
Yeah, it was definitely chilly. We were quite surprised at the weather, actually. We thought it would be a little bit warmer, and we packed a bunch of shorts and T-shirts and that kind of thing. And it was certainly better weather than here.
Mm-hmm.
But daytime weather was somewhere in the 60s, I think 70s a couple days. But nighttime, when the sun went down on the desert, I tell you what, it got chilly. I think we're down in the low 40s.
Oh, wow.
Just about every night. So
yeah,
it was definitely cool.
New Mexico is beautiful, by the way. I've been down there, drove through there actually a couple of times, and it's always been on my bucket list to go down there and try to hunt. But I wanted to ask you this, Aaron. We saw the picture of you in there, or the picture with the bulls on each side. Now, I have seen where winners of this Wild West Shootout actually take a picture on the bull. Did you ever even think about doing something that dumb?
It would have been a great photo opportunity for sure, and a really good experience. No, I actually didn't even cross my mind. I know in past, now that you mention it, we have seen a lot of people, whether it's a nightly winner or the points champion, gets to hop on the bull. But in the moment, it didn't even cross my mind. But I do regret not getting that opportunity for sure.
You would have done it though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, yeah. You got more nads than I do. I don't know if I would have. Another thing that really gets me about looking at this picture of you in Victory Lane is the cowboy hat. It's like all of about 11 gallons there on your bucket. Never seen you in a cowboy hat before. How'd you feel about wearing that thing?
So it's actually a funny story. When he asked me what my hat size was, I think I said medium, and apparently that's not what he meant. He wanted like the actual dimensions of my melon. So he gave me one that was a little too big, and I said, "You got one smaller," and he did, but I think it was probably still just a tad bit too big on my head.
Hey, you know what? You don't look bad in a cowboy hat, though.
No, I'll probably try to pull it off a few times here this summer. Maybe just wear it around to the track every once in a while. Let it grow on everyone.
Oh, for sure. I would be wearing that thing in the pits. I'd be doing it all year long.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with me in getting hats. I got a hat from winning the Rebel Midwest Mod Tour race here as well, and I think they call that fedora. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
So I've got one of those too. I can kind of alternate.
So you'll be the black-headed rebel.
Yeah, and it's funny because I typically have a hat, just a baseball cap with me in the car at all times. I
Mhm.
usually don't see me at the track without a hat on. And
Yeah.
I kind of got that from my dad. He always had a hat that he would just put on the shifter of his street stock, and that kind of translated to me as well. So I've always had a hat, but it's always been a baseball hat, not a fedora or a cowboy hat.
Well, I know another guy that likes to wear hats a lot too. In fact, as soon as I get out of the barber shop, first thing I do is put my hat back on. But Terry, I want to get back to you here for just a second. You had been messaging me when you guys were down there, and you were talking about how cool this facility is, and just some of the race car drivers that were down there. It sounds to me like it was the best of the best, pretty much all the way around.
Yeah. First off, the facility is crazy. It is as close to NASCAR facility as you can get, but it's all dirt. It's all about dirt. They have super nice concrete entrance with a big a gate that you come through, and they have big video screens on every concession stand booth, and you can stand. They have a standing area beside the concession stand where you can watch football, or you can watch other races going on and that kind of thing. The lighting was crazy. The track really was really good. And Aaron can answer more to the track part of it, but the facility was just in my mind probably in the top 3 of tracks I've ever been to.
Wow.
And I've been to a lot of racetracks.
Yeah.
And it was super nice. It's just 2 years old. The guy that built it ran 2 racetracks, one in Las Cruces and then one in El Paso on the fairgrounds, and decided to combine them and put them right in between Las Cruces and El Paso, and built it amongst cattle farms. Every farm within that range there had 1,500 of cattle. So you're driving through this interstate with cattle all along the side, and all of a sudden here's a beautiful racetrack and all the lighting and pits and pit lighting and everything you can imagine. So the track was super, super nice. As far as racers themselves, I mean, you'd be hard to go through that list of drivers. It was in all the classes. And, when they announced the drivers, all of them had track championships, had won some big event, or, multi-feature winners this past season kind of thing. So yeah, there was some pretty good drivers there from USRA, USMTS, IMCA, and all kinds of different sanctioning bodies there. So it was really good, and anybody who places in that thing should be really, really proud.
Absolutely. Now, Aaron, when they were doing introductions, I'm guessing it took them a while to introduce you because, well, let's face it, last year you had a pretty damn good year.
Yeah. So the entire experience was great because I felt like a hired hand. I basically just showed up to the track the first night for practice, and my car was already running for me. I put on my race suit and hopped right in. I had the luxury to fly basically right into El Paso, Texas there. And I actually didn't fill out any paperwork. I forgot to do that portion. So I didn't have any of my accolades, but yes, it was a great year in 2021. And a lot of the drivers, that were there were in the same boat as me.
So how many feature wins did you win last year? I mean, you were, of course, in the B mod, you were at a street stock, you did a little bit of A mod stuff, but how did you remember how many features you won last year?
Yeah, it's a nice even number. It was 20 feature wins last year.
Wow. 20 feature wins in 1 year. A lot of guys don't get that in 20 years of racing. Now, when you were down here for the Wild West Shootout, how many days of racing was that? And what was the format? Wasn't it kind of a points deal?
Yeah, so each night was a complete show, and you had a random pill draw every night. So it ran very similar to how we have a regular weekend up here. But they did accumulate points throughout the entire week. So it was 6 races in the 10 days that we were down in that area. And obviously each night was critical in accumulating as many points and doing as well as you can. So, and then there was a couple nights of practice in there as well. So really in the 10 days we were gone, we could have been at the track 8 or really all 10 if we wanted, but 8 days worth of track time.
You mentioned being down there that long, and when we were trying to get this show together here for today's Dirty Thursday, you said, you know what, I've missed like 10 of the first 17 days at work of the year. They're probably getting a little mad at me, but it's got to be pretty cool when your employer says, yeah, go ahead, take 10 days off and go wherever you want and race. How cool is that?
Yeah, I kind of have the luxury here. I manage, they let me manage this store.
Okay.
And it works out well because I can somewhat create my own schedule. And a lot of times I get to work around my other employees who work with me. But yeah, it's huge to have a full-time career that's flexible enough to, allow you to be gone that long. And really it's a testament to the people that work for me and work with me to be able to pick up my slack while I'm gone for that long.
So I'm guessing maybe we'll see Aaron Blacklance doing a little bit more winter racing over the next few years, maybe?
It's funny. When we planned this trip, I told my wife, it was just a bucket list thing for me. And no matter how I do, just getting to go once would be enough for me. And if I never make it back to race, 20 plus hours away, as long as I got to do it once, I could die a happy man. But once you go down there and you get to experience it and you get to race with different people, and then on top of it, have a little bit of success too, it's tough to say that I'll never go back, but I don't know that it would be an every year type deal, but every other would be awesome.
Well, now you are defending champion. You have to go back down there next year.
So maybe we should put the call out on Facebook right now and start fundraising, because it was an awfully expensive vacation that I just took.
Oh, you mean you didn't make it all back with your winnings?
No, that's the common misconception with us dirt track drivers is there's definitely not a ton of money to be made.
Okay, I tell you what, we're going to take a break. We've got more time coming up here, a lot more questions. We've got Wild West Shootout winner Aaron Blacklance, and of course, the old man Terry is also on the show. Of course, Terry, long-time racer up here in the area on a Dirty Thursday. But life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Most of their oil changes, they're done within like 15 minutes. They do tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. Now, when I go in there to get my oil changed, they top off my fluids. They check my tires, the battery, lights, wipers, cabin air filter. You drive out of there knowing things are the way they should be. They also offer discounts for fleets in the military. They can text and email invoices and coupons. But when you go in there for an oil change, in fact, I'm due. Mention GFBS and get $10 off your oil change. What a deal. They are open 7 days a week. No appointment is needed. Pickup and delivery available if you live in Grand Forks. It's great all the way around. Get in and out of there quick. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, complete oil change, and more. 3325 South 38th Street, or call 701-780-8462. Make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. We got Aaron and Terry Blacklance on the show with us here today on a Dirty Thursday. Of course, both of them just coming back from New Mexico for the Wild West Shootout. Now, one thing I've been seeing, and I did notice this today, Aaron, you got the B-Mod for sale. Now, of course, people that don't know you, this year, the last how many years, you have ran a lot of street stock, a lot of B-Mods, and now you're starting to get into the A-Mod thing. What is the deal with the B-Mod? Last I heard, you were thinking about maybe getting out and up to an A-Mod. Fill us in on that.
Yeah, so it seems like every year when you and I first meet in Grand Forks for the opening night, you always ask me when I'm going to move up. And I kind of always give you that answer when I do well enough or when I feel comfortable enough, to make a change. And of course, you want to see me in a late model to run Grand Forks regularly. But
yes, I
would. For me, the most realistic change is to probably move up to an A-Mod. And that's our plan for 2022. We've worked out a deal with Chris Edmonds, who also races in Grand Forks. He was a rookie last year. Raced Grand Forks, Ada, and Greenbush, and we got really close and pitted together. And he actually ended up with an A-Mod, kind of on a package deal when he got into racing. And last year we were kind of joking, and he said, "Hey, you want to drive this car for me?" And I thought, yeah, it's a no-brainer to hop in a decent A-Mod and kind of get my feet wet and see if I like it. So that's the plan for 2022. We've partnered up together. I'll be running his car, and for me, I want to stick with a B-Mod, and I still have the street stock in the shop as well. if it was up to me, I'd race every class every single night. I just like to be in the car that much, but it makes the most sense to probably focus on one car, especially once the competition gets that much more tight. The faster you go, the more money that's spent, the more I want to focus on that one class.
And, I don't like to hear that. I mean, I do, obviously, but I don't because we love seeing you here at River Cities Speedway, and I know we won't get to see you as much when you're running the AMOD, but you know what? It seems like no matter what you jump into, you are always very successful at it, and we wish you all the luck in the AMOD. Now I got a question for Terry. Let me see here. You get a new hip. Is that what you got done?
Yeah. I got a new hip on June 11th of this past summer. So yeah, it's all brand new, and in there I went through the airport for the first time and got it to chirp at me a couple times. So that was cool. But yeah, brand new hip.
How's it coming? I mean, I know it takes a while. I know, you got the therapy and all that stuff, but how are you feeling now?
I feel real good. Yeah. The hip is feeling really good. I don't have any pain anymore, which is nice. I used to wake up at night and be in massive pain. I'd get up from a table and be in pain and go to the bathroom and I'd be in pain. And so to have the new hip is nice. I still have a little bit of a limp. That's probably the biggest frustration for me right now is I just can't get rid of the limp, even though it doesn't hurt anymore. And my doc keeps telling me, that'll go away. You've been limping for a long time. It's gonna take you some time to get out of that. So I catch myself sometimes not limping, and then the minute I catch myself not limping, I end up limping. So yeah, but it feels good, and I'm happy I had it done. It was the best $30,000 I ever spent.
Wow, good. Okay, I got more questions for you, but hold on here.
I just needed to let you know that the meeting is about to time out, but I sent you guys a new invitation. So if you check your email, we might just lose you for a couple of minutes until you sign into the new meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what happens when you go with more than one person on Zoom, they give you a time limit. Well, and then the damn kid, you can't even get him on a camera. So we could have just. Now, Terry, this is what I was getting at here when we talk about you and the new hip. Does Terry Blacklance, do you have any exasperations? Do you want to get back in a race car? Because you have been doing this for a good portion of your life. You want to get back in and on the dirt again?
It depends on the day. I don't know. Yeah, I do. And I fully intend on maybe giving it a shot. I really like the John Sight show. And getting in a street stock for me is, second hand. It's like riding a bike. So I enjoy doing that. I've still got my late model in the shop. It's all ready to go. I could hop in that a few times, but right now I'm having such a fun time watching Aaron and sitting in the stands and listening to you. And the desire, I'll be honest, isn't there like it used to be. And I just enjoy being around the sport, but the work that goes into it, the money that you spend at it, to me, isn't quite worth it anymore. And then when I look at my wife, my wife has been with me for 30 plus years, and she sat by herself in the stands half the time. So now for me, it's more fun for us to plan date nights and go watch our kid race and some of our friends get out there. So I'll probably be in a race car at some point, but it just depends on if the weather's right and if I have enough money. And I don't want to be competing against Aaron. I don't want to be taking any time away from him. So.
Sure. And I was going to ask you that if it wasn't for Aaron's success, would you have more of an inkling to get into the car? Because I know what it's like watching your kid grow up. You kind of get to relive your youth a little bit. I know I say that often, but that's kind of what you're doing, and I'm guessing that has a lot to do with your thoughts about getting back in a car.
Oh yeah. I look at all the things that I went through money-wise and car setup-wise and that kind of thing, and I think I have some things to offer him, although he may not think that sometimes. But I'm also old school, so some of the ideas that I have may seem old school to him, but I think they still work in some cases. But I just really enjoy being there for him and making sure that we're not missing something for him. And I just enjoy seeing that. I'm waiting for the success, and it's coming sooner than I thought it would. And that's the fun part, is just seeing the success that he's having, doing what he's doing. So
Absolutely. Now, Aaron, have you got your 2022 schedule figured out yet? I mean, I know there's people are always tweaking as the schedule goes along and the year goes along. Of course, you've got weather issues and things like that, cancellations, postponements. But have you got a schedule for the upcoming season figured out yet?
No, I really don't. Last year it was a lot easier to put that together, because I really had one goal when it came to 2021. I wanted to place top 10 in national points in the WISSOTA B-Mod class. So this year, obviously making the transition to A-Mod, a little less options for me. Greenbush, one of my home tracks, on Saturday nights, of course, runs A-Mods weekly. I'd like to see what Grand Forks puts out for a schedule. I know for sure we'll be there every Friday that they do run the WISSOTA A-Mods, and I know a lot of people are really hoping that they can get them on the schedule a few more times. But from there, it's really gonna, like you said, gonna depend on the weather. We may make a few trips down to Fergus Falls, but that's still over 2 hours one way for me, and some of that travel gets more difficult. But we'll just have to play it by ear. Obviously, hitting bigger specials, sites race, I'll probably be in a street stock B-Mod and A-Mod in that event again. And just try to do as many big shows as we can.
You always hear, we've been doing this Dirty Thursday show here for a while now, and you always hear race car drivers talk about how whatever sanctioning body they are racing with, it's kind of like family. Now, when you were down in New Mexico for the Wild West Shootout, was it the same thing? Oh, hold on, guys. We're just going to take a little break here. It's time for everybody to reboot. All right. I tell you what, biohack your life with supplements and body care with Stephanie Kronelka and LifeVantage. It's a science-based company that has dedicated its time to help people reach their health and wellness goals. Products can assist with personal skin and hair care, immune system health, anti-aging solutions, even pet health. For more information, check out stephk.lifevantage.com or text 701-230-9306, or you can email skbesthealth@gmail.com. And I tell you what, right now, I have got the True Science hand cream. Paul, the producer, he raves about this stuff. But if you would like to have this, I know it's not cheap. Be the first person to text 701-230-9306. Again, 701-230-9306. Get yourself the True Science hand cream, and it is all with Steph Kronelka and LifeVantage. Again, that number to text 701-230-9306. There we go. Back with Aaron and Terry Blacklance. We'll see, are they back on yet? Are you guys there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, that's perfect. I don't know if you caught that last question or not, but all sanctioning bodies, of course, you being in a B-Mod and a street stock all year, and we know what it's like in the pits. We hear it from every race car driver. It doesn't matter if you're in the pits or a wrench or if you're a driver, but it's always like a big family. Now, here you go way out of your elements down to New Mexico. Was it any different, or did guys treat you like you were just one of the regular guys you race against every week? Was it more like a family deal down there, too?
I would say we kind of flew under the radar. I don't think a lot of people really knew who I was. And this year, the event being at a new track, a new location, they didn't have the same kind of following from the WISSOTA cars. So I would say we kind of felt like an outsider to some extent. But everybody that we visited with throughout the entire week were really good, and a lot of people were willing to at least introduce themselves to you and kind of ask where you're from and some of your accolades. So I would say for an event like this, it was way more inclusive than I kind of expected it to be.
Did you get the hi, I'm Aaron from Thief River Falls, Minnesota? Did you get that look from anybody like, what, who, where? Oh, come on.
A little bit, of course, the first question they always ask is, well, what's the weather like back home? Yeah. They don't really care who I am. They care more about the weather.
Yeah, they're racing snowmobiles up there now.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, this is incredible to go down there and win something like this. And your dad, Terry had mentioned this to me when we were messaging back and forth when you were down there. How cool is it from somebody from way up here in the tundra to go down to New Mexico and kick some butt and come home with the hardware. I mean, that is freaking cool, man.
Yeah. It still probably hasn't quite set in for me yet. You know, that all the preparation that we had, trying to get not only my car together, working with Chris Edmonds, getting his car together. And we were actually prepared. We had a spare car with us. Worst case scenario, if something did happen mechanically or something that was maybe out of our control. So we prepared 3 cars, and it made it an awfully short off season, trying to get everything ready and in the trailer so it could leave, you know, right away early in January. But now we get to do it all over again and work on cars and get them ready for the next event.
Did you have any mechanical issues or any shorts between the steering wheel and the seat issues or anything during these days of racing? Because it sounds like things went pretty good. I know there was somebody had got DQ'd or something, which helped a little bit. But, man, I tell you what, it was tight going into that last day. Did you have any issues that you really had to wrench on and worry about things, or was it okay?
So one thing I've always taken from my dad is if it's not broke, don't fix it. So for the most part, you know, we went down there with the same car we had been racing all summer back home. I did end up with a new engine, just kind of an upgrade for myself, same engine builder. And that was really the only mechanical change we made to the car. Of course, we're running on a different tire, you know, so there was a few setup things that we did a little bit different, but I didn't have any major wholesale changes. You know, it's not like I was learning a new car or a different setup. I really just had to adapt to the tire we were running on and kind of the surface of the track. So mechanically, everything was sound. There was one frantic heat race. I think it was the second to last night, where we had some ignition issues. And I believe the root of that was probably one of the times I came across the scale for the tech. They typically check the ignition. They check, you know, your rev limiting box and kind of how it's grounded and some of those things. So I think a wire was probably bumped, causing me to not receive power to my distributor. And we actually didn't find that out until probably about 10 minutes before my heat race the second to last night. So we were frantically trying to get the car fired on one night. But other than that, you know, it was a pretty solid week.
Was the dirt down there like the dirt up here, or was it red? Was it completely different? Was there kind of a learning curve for you on a different surface of racetrack, or was it very similar?
Yeah, I would say it was completely different. I kind of had an expectation of what I thought it would be just based on the color. You know, I've been over in the Iron Range of Minnesota, raced in Hibbing and Superior and some of those tracks where it's a little more of a red clay, orangish clay. And that's kind of what I thought it was going to be, but it actually acted probably closer to the clay we have here in the Red River Valley. It was red in color, orangish in color, but it actually held moisture pretty good. So I would say, you know, aside from that, I was able to adapt pretty quickly.
Awesome. Terry, by the way, I know you're probably standing or sitting in the studios or in the shop of Lancer Fabrication, but if you haven't noticed, I know Terry knows I'm wearing it, but I do have my Lancer Fabrication shirt on, and he's like, where'd you get that? But how are things going over at the fab shop there?
Things are going well here, and it's Lancer Fabrication is just part of our business. We're actually in the fast graphics shop, so which is my business.
Okay,
but yeah, things are going really well here. We're actually getting ready now for obviously the race wrap season for race cars. Right now, we're ordering product and making sure our printers and laminators are ready to go. We started some design on some guys' cars, and of course we got to figure out what we're going to do with the cars here in the shop. So we've got a busy spring here. Daytona 500 is just a couple weeks away, and usually after the Daytona 500, things start to pick up here, and we start getting customers in. So yeah, we're busy here, and we're ready to go. But it's never a shortage of things to do here at the shop.
Well, I tell you what, speaking of the Daytona 500, 3 races have been on my bucket list my entire life. We've got the Chili Bowl, we've got Knoxville Nationals, and the Daytona 500, and my bride bought me tickets to the Daytona 500 this year, so we're going to be heading out here in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait. How fun is it for you to help guys design what their race car is going to look like? Because I know you have some feedback there.
It I love designing. I mean, that's why I got into it. But I'll be honest with you, our job here is to do what the customer wants, and we spend a lot of time trying to decipher what that is, and so it's not as fun as I'd like it to be, but either way, it's racing, and I just love racing. I love the end result, whatever we do, if it's my idea or the customer's idea. Man, I just love seeing it out on the racetrack, and that's the most fun part of it for me.
Well, it's got to be fun because it's not like you're just at the track watching Aaron race, but you're probably going, I did that car. We did that car. We did that car. And it's almost like you're rooting for them, too, because they come out of your shop.
Yeah. We consider all our customers our teammates. I mean, we're going to help them, not with just their graphics, but, a lot of our customers are here for fabrication purposes as well. Aaron does work on their bodies, or, does repair on bars and that kind of thing, helps with setup. So our customers at the graphic shop end up being Lancer Fab customers, and then we try to help them at the shop wherever we are, at the racetrack whenever we can too. So we're just one big happy family, and that's the way we like it.
I would imagine you're probably going to get more calls on setups after the big win down at the Wild West Shootout. But Aaron, chance for you to tell us about who helps you with your race team, who your sponsors are, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, I typically don't do a ton of marketing, and a lot of that has to do with just, I do sales full time. And the last thing I want to do is go ask somebody for money. So a lot of people came on board this year simply out of, just wanting to help out. And I had a lot of great partners who helped get me down to New Mexico and will be on board here for the upcoming 2022 season. So the regulars, my dad and mom at Fast Graphics, of course, always willing to, change their schedule to allow me to put whatever graphics I need on my car. Sometimes it's last minute, sometimes it's a repair. So they always bend over backwards for me and support me as much as they can. My own business, Lancer Fabrication, obviously, I do a lot of fabrication work, and that kind of extends to not just bodies, but some of the chassis and setup stuff as well. My engine builder, Frank Zulli, has done a really good job, the last 4 or 5 years that I've been with him, always putting together just an excellent motor, really good customer service when it comes to, the technical side of it and what I can do to get the most out of my investment with him. And then SSR Race Car, put together just such a nice B mod for me. Something that, I can work with them regularly and make some tweaks here and there. But so a huge shout out to those 4. And then for this trip down to New Mexico, like I said, we had some others hop on board. Sheldon's Auto Parts out of Thief River Falls. He's been a longtime friend of ours, a racer for many years, and been a fan of me probably ever since I got into the sport. And he came on board this year and chipped in some money. A good high school friend of mine, Connor Hutton, is down in the Wilmer area. And I actually got to race down in Wilmer at one point last summer. So we were able to reconnect, and he came on board. He's got Farmers Insurance down in Wilmer. Another good friend of ours up in Canada, Doug Perrier, with Bison Valley Express. He came on board and pitched in some money. And then we got some local ones here as well. Reber Auto Glass and Repair, Mike Reber out of Thief River Falls, spent some time in the shop with us, just kind of visiting. And I think he was actually a Fast Graphics customer that was really interested in motorsports and wanted to help out. So huge thanks to him. And then lastly, a friend of ours over in the Devil's Lake area, Newman Trucking, Michael Newman, son of longtime racer Greg Newman. So huge shout out to all those people who came on board and helped out this year. Without them, everybody says it, but without them, I wouldn't be near as far as I am today.
Well, it's cool to see the Fast Graphics and the Lancer Fabrication and stuff on the car. I think that is awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about your A-Mod coming up this season, chassis, what kind of car you're running, and things like that.
So we will be running a brand new MB Custom, and I'm really excited to hop in that. The A mod I ran a little bit last year was also an MB Custom, and that is what Chris Edmonds, my car owner, or who he's partnered up with. And of course, they make a really good car as well. A lot of successful drivers have run or still run MB Customs. So I'm really excited to get behind that thing. I think it's going to work out really well. And yeah, we're gonna take it one race at a time. And if I could pick off a win in that class here in 2022, I would be ecstatic.
Man, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Does it make you nervous jumping up a class like that? I mean, you've been doing this long enough. Does it make you a little nervous or maybe comprehensive?
I think it probably takes a little bit of pressure off. When you've had some success in a given class, for many years I raced street stock and did well, and then made the transition to a B mod. I think anytime you move up, the expectations and the stress is actually a little bit less, because you can always blame it on that. Well, I'm still learning. It's a learning curve, so the expectation isn't as high. I think there's probably more pressure when I hop back into street stock, just because everybody expects you to do really well.
Sure. Terry, I got this question for you now. Your thoughts as a parent. How do you and the missus feel about him jumping up to an A mod, and what do you hope to see transition throughout Aaron's career? What are you really looking at here when you start looking at going down into time here more?
As a parent and being around racing as long as we've been around racing, there's a part of me that says, "God dang, I'd love to see him, up in a late model racing with the World of Outlaws or Lucas Oil late models, that type of thing." But realistically, I'm willing to do whatever he wants to do. I know I hedge a little bit about the modified thing because I'm a late model fan, but ultimately it's kind of up to him. He's the one that foots most of the bill, and his mom and I are just big fans. We just want to be there, whatever it is. He could be racing a scooter in the Mall of America. I don't care. We'll be there to watch it, and we're just going to be a fan. So,
and when you say it that way, Terry, I realize I'm selfish. I like Aaron had mentioned earlier in the show, every year at the beginning of the year, I ask him, when are you going to get into a late model or something? And I'm just going to put it down as chalk it up as I'm selfish. I want to see Aaron Blacklance every Friday. And so there's the selfishness in me. But I tell you what, you guys, Terry, I've known you forever. Aaron, I have known you for dang near ever. It is always a pleasure having you guys on the show. What a great year. I mean, 20 wins. You come home the Wild West Shootout champion. As a dad and your wife, you have got to be just so super proud. And Aaron, you're doing a great job. And I know it's just going to keep continuing to get better as you move up into that A mod. And hopefully, like the old man and myself are thinking, maybe one day a late mod after the A mods. But hopefully one day we'll get you up there. But you guys are a blast to talk to. I can't wait to get back home to Thief River. I'm hoping to get up there here in the next month or so. But I definitely want to stop by the shops and visit with you guys. But you guys, I can't thank you enough for being on a Dirty Thursday today.
Yeah, we really appreciate you giving us the opportunity and a great show. You've done a great job with that. You and Paul have done a great job, and I find myself watching more and more odd shows that I never thought I'd watch. But it's always entertaining, without a doubt. But yeah, thanks for giving us a chance to come on and highlight what we love. I mean, we love racing. We love the racing family, and it's fun to talk about all the time.
Hey, I'm going to give you a quick chance here. Give a little shout out for Fast Graphics. All right, here's your chance for a plug, buddy.
Well, it's that time of year. It's right around the corner, and if you're looking at design, we're starting design already. We've got customers who have sent in some sample designs and that kind of thing. So we're getting started. Don't wait too long. We're still suffering a little bit from COVID and getting product here at the shop. So don't get caught short. Get in early. And maybe we can save you a little money that way. But as we get closer to the race season and things get tight a little bit, you never know what'll happen. I mean, things could go up even again. So
right.
Get in now, and we'll do the best we can. And we always say that we never duplicate a wrap. I mean, it's always going to be different. So we don't can anything.
All right, perfect. And Aaron Blacklance, thank you for joining us today, my friend.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us. I'm really glad we could talk about our trip and bring some more light to local racers in the area. So thank you guys.
Hey, and congratulations on the marriage too. What a great deal for you. What a great
Thank
year.
you.
All right. Hey, there you go. That's Aaron and Terry Blacklance. Man, I tell you what, between these two guys, you talk about a racing pedigree. Always having a good time with these guys on our Dirty Thursday. And we want to give a big shout out today to Rumor Sports Bar and Casino right across the hall here. There, I can see it. I'm looking at Rumors right now in the Grand Cities Mall. You want to go watch UND Fighting Hawks hockey this weekend? You can do it at Rumors. Wall-to-wall TVs. Yesterday, my favorite day of the week because they got $3 pounders all day. Also, your $6 express lunch. You're looking to go get some grub today? Stop into Rumors. Also, lunch and dinner specials. They have all kinds of things going on. By the way, tomorrow, Fiesta Friday. Let's see, they got room for parties. Of course, if you want to try your luck at charitable gaming, you can do it. You can play bingo. You can pull tabs. You can play blackjack. You can bet on the horses. You can do it all. And most famous home of the world-famous beer tower. That's the most important thing. Check them out, Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. They're right here in the Grand Cities Mall, right across the hall from the studios of Grand Forks Best Source. Get a big shout-out going out to Aaron and Terry Blacklance for this Dirty Thursday. Hopefully Chad Hoff, the other half of the Bullring Boys, will be back next week. Don't forget about our Bullring Boys t-shirts. All the funds raised go to the Racer Fund, all the money made. And also the River Cities Speedway Fire and Rescue shirts are available. If you need a chance to get any of these, get a hold of me and I'll let you know how to do that. Also, NOSA Banquet is coming up this Saturday at the Beehive in Reynolds. Of course, the Northern Outlaw Sprint Car Association. I'm going to be there emceeing it. You know what? If you're bored, head to the Beehive in Reynolds this Saturday. Hey, tonight at 6:30, the boys will have former UND hockey player Paul Murphy on the Best Forking Sports Arena show. Make sure you tune into that. And remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. And I tell you what, this is cool. Become a patron on Podbean. Chance for you to qualify for all sorts of GFBS giveaways. Man, we got a whole table full of swag. We'd love to give it away, all right? Hey, man, the Grand Cities is an awesome place. Grand Forks Best Source is giving it an identity again.